It can be so much fun sometimes, and when I say that, I mean it sarcastically, slogging through the mush, waiting for your team to make anticipated moves as they will be a seller, waiting for them to admit they'll be a seller a week out from the NHL trade deadline. Elliot, wait just a second, Prince Nation. Wait just a second. Elliot Freeman reports, I gotta go, Johnny! I gotta go, Johnny! Are you reading us?
I'm on my way home. Fire up the recording program. We're not waiting until tonight to react.
You heard the man, Preds Nation. Johnny here with some great breaking Preds news. I was thinking about just incorporating this into the Preds fan reaction video tonight, win or lose in Arizona, seeing as this team has finally admitted that they're sellers, with Nito Niederreiter being shipped to Winnipeg yesterday for a 2024 second round pick. And quick thoughts on that before I get to this news is that, yes, I like that news. Niederreiter has one more year left. A second is enough to satisfy me. And hey, it's next year. Winnipeg doesn't have their second round pick this year. Next year, they do have their second round pick. And hey, if Winnipeg is actually better next year, then so be it. But you know what? What if Winnipeg's worse next year? Then that second round pick gets better. Anyway, that out of the way. Oh my God. Have you heard the news? You must be living under a rock if you haven't heard it by now, because Preds Nation is overjoyed. It came out in a tweet from Elliot Freeman. I will read from it verbatim for you at 1:04 p.m. my time. That would be 3:04 Central. Big story out of Nashville. After 26 years as the Preds architect, the most consistent presence in franchise history, David Poile is retiring as president of hockey operations and GM position effective June 30th. Expectations is that he will be remaining in a consulting role. And also, this season, he became the first GM in league history to manage 3,000 games, previously being in Washington. And then he would report on not just that. Poile is finally going. Hey, I don't want to kick him while he's down. He did so much for this team. He finally built us up from nothing back in the late 90s when I was still in high school. And he finally brought us almost to the top of the mountain with the 2017. The reason why I have 17 on my redemption jersey, meaning that I want the team to get redemption for almost winning the cup that year. Thank you, Poile, for that. But it is clear after the last few seasons, and with Poile not getting any younger, I believe he's 73. He's going to be 73 this year. It was time to transition to a new voice. And lo and behold, with the NHL draft coming back to Nashville this year for the first time in 20 years, it was time, yes, to make all Preds Nation rejoice with Barry Trotz is coming home. I would sing the song right now and how happy I was, but I don't want to get my channel slapped with a copyright infringement. Barry Trotz is coming home, and he's not coming in cold, Preds Nation. If you haven't heard, he's already been serving in a consulting role with the Preds, so it should be somewhat, not easy, but somewhat easy transition come June 30th for him to take over as GM. And according to Michael Gallagher on Twitter, this also means that a new coach will be hired come the end of the season. Thank you, John Hines, ahead of time. But it's time for fresh blood with Barry Trotz as Preds GM to pick up where he left off with how well he did his first 16 seasons with not the greatest of assets in the cupboard to play with on the ice. Well, now that this team is more established with Barry Trotz in the front office, maybe this team will finally climb that mountain once again and get all the way to the top of the mountain. And just a side note, as I was talking to different Preds fans on Twitter, ones I knew that weren't going to renew their season tickets come the end of the season, but are now reconsidering as much. Methinks the people at 501 Broadway were reading the room and thought, yeah, maybe it's time to make a big splash and finally turn the page. Poile will stay on in a consulting role, kind of like him and Trotz will be switching spots. But I finally believe that I am seeing that the Nashville Predators are going to be heading in the right direction. They'll be in a little bit of a lull, seeing as they're finally embracing yet owning the position that they're in. But I finally feel that this team is heading in the right direction. So that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching as always. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you're really excited about this Preds news. You can find my social media by clicking on the channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption and shout it from the rooftops, Preds Nation. Tell all your Preds friends that Barry Trotz is coming back to Smashville!